We're having a lot of fun here in the Dignity Health Studios at the Bakersfield Californian. Welcome back. Thanks for taking some time out of your lunch hour to join us here on Condors Unleashed.
I didn't take time out of my lunch hour.
Speaking of lunch, we're enjoying some Mountain Mike's pizza. Thanks to Mountain Mike's for providing some pizza for our guests. Yeah, there it is. Go visit them. California, Stockdale.
That's right.
Right in the big plaza.
Big plaza.
We'll
Delicious.
West there as well.
I'm enjoying the pepperoni jalapeno.
Are you going to be all right to get through the last couple of segments?
I think I'll be all right.
All right. Can't have you going down. Ryan Holt, Kevin Bartle, voices of your Condors here. Our first ever episode of Condors Unleashed. We've sat down with Condors head coach Troy Mann. We went inside Coach's Corner. Again, opening weekend here this weekend. Colorado in town on Friday night, 7 o'clock start time. Doors will open at 6 o'clock. We have the Angry Birds hat giveaway. Queen Victoria's back in town. And then Saturday, we're down in Ontario, and we're off and running 2 big games this weekend. Divisional rival on Saturday night, and a team the Condors have had some good success against in Colorado over the past 2 years since they've been in the ECHL. But we go inside of our player interview here on our first ever episode of Condors Unleashed. And Wes Cunningham, thank you so much for coming on, buddy.
Thanks for having me here.
So Condors defenseman Wes Cunningham. First year in Condorstown. You've been here a couple weeks. You've seen, you get the video right there.
It's right there.
There's the vitals right there. Are we 185? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right.
Yeah.
185, 26, London, Ontario.
Yeah.
So you get the Wes Cunningham profile behind him on the TV screen. But you've been in Bakersfield now for a couple weeks. What have you thought about the city? What have you thought about being around here in Condorstown?
Well, it's great. I mean, we got a chance to check out the mall, the area around here. We, my wife and I moved down here with my little puppy as well, and we're loving it, going to the dog parks and having a good time so far. So can't complain.
And there it is. There's
That's
the pup.
him.
Tell us about
This
the pup.
was actually on the drive down. He couldn't sit still, and whenever he wanted to fall asleep, he fell asleep in any possible way he found. So
What's his name?
His name's Bentley, and he's
Bentley.
about 5 months old now, and he's won't stop growing. So
Looks like he's a
that's
bulldog.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a big suck too. So yeah.
So he's soft, you're saying?
Oh yeah.
The you mentioned the dog parks. I never seen a dog park until I moved out here.
Yeah.
Have you seen dog parks in other places you've lived?
Yeah, well, back in Canada, they're starting to become more common. There's
Okay.
a lot around the area, so we
All
bring
right.
him there and get him familiar with other dogs and people. So he seems to have a good time when he's there and helps him sleep at night.
So Bentley likes Condorstown.
Yes, he likes it.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
We ran some highlights from the weekend in the last segment there, and we were talking about the hit. I'm probably throwing too much on Chris, asking him to cue up that hit. But, not to take it off the dog and talk some hockey here.
I want to talk dog.
I know you want to talk the dog. I'd like to talk about
wouldn't
pizza.
you? Look how
We
cute
all
he is,
have
huh?
agenda here, right? Great hit you had, open ice hit. They
Thank
didn't
you.
react too well. Nobody usually does when
Yeah.
they get laid out like that. Physical aspect, big part of your game or what?
Well, I mean, it's always got to be a part of your game. I mean, you can be a very skilled guy, but to be a complete player, you still have to hit. You have to play gritty, and I try to bring that to the table every night. And I had a chance to open ice hit him, and I guess I connected pretty well, and they didn't like it too much, so they kind of came after me. But I had to hold my own and stick up for myself. So
The first part of that, when you're lining up a guy like
Yeah.
that, and especially the new rules nowadays in the NHL and the concern about player safety and the headshots,
There it
has
is.
it made you more timid maybe, I guess? I don't know if timid's the right word, but has it made you more aware of your surroundings and when you are lining up a guy to know that, hey, I can only hit him shoulder to hip?
Yeah, I suppose, but the thing is, I'm not that big. I mean, it's probably harder for taller guys. I mean, their elbows are right at other guys' heads, but me being 5'11", I mean, I'm just about perfect size there, so I can throw my shoulder down right into their chest or into their shoulder. So I haven't had too much problems, but every now and then you got to be careful because you don't want to get up there and injure anyone, and you don't want that to happen to you either. So you just got to play smart, play hard, and just pay attention to what you're doing out there.
And then on the video, you get jumped
Yeah.
pretty soon thereafter. Literally just clocked from behind, basically. Is it at that point, rules out the window, I'm protecting myself at all costs?
Yeah,
there?
well, yeah, there's that. I mean, they kind of didn't like that. They're a tough team. They're sticking up for their better players. So I respect that, and I have to stick up for myself as well. If I'm going to play that tough, then I've got to be able to stick up for myself. So I think I did that for from my point of view. But you know, you got to do that sometimes.
You know, we got a lot of guys in camp. There was at the start of camp, I think there was 11 or 12 D-men here. Early in camp, did you start to develop any on-ice relationships with anybody? Anybody kind of stick out to you that was like, oh, good, I'm lined up with him this time. We kind of fit well. Anybody?
As for defense partners,
Yeah,
you mean?
defensive partners.
You know what? I really don't have any favorites. I'm pretty easygoing. I play left, right. It seems like we got a pretty even number of lefties and righties here. So I've always been playing with either Pajot or Bergie there for a bit. I can't really say I have a favorite, to tell you the truth. So I'm going to let Coach see what he thinks is best, and I'm going to go with that. So there's nothing much I can really say about that.
Got a lot of video here as well
Yeah.
of practice. How have practices been? How has training camp been? You've been around the league, both in the ECHL, up in the American Hockey League, and overseas. How is this training camp kind of compared to what you've seen in other places or in other markets?
Well, I found Troy brought a lot of his AHL experience down here, and it's been a pretty tough camp for us. The guys are they're getting tired, but we're trying to take care of ourselves as well. And you know, I think it helps having Troy with his experience and helping Murph's doing a great job, as well as Willie there too. So we've got a lot of guys out there to kind of teach and help each other out. So it's been a pretty high intensity camp, and I think we're going to do well this season.
You mentioned earlier that you were overseas. You spent last season in Norway. What was that experience like in going overseas and playing hockey in a foreign country?
Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful. It was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but I still miss the North American style hockey here. So I had to come back and give her another go, and it looked like Bakersfield was the best option for me. So I'm here and I'm happy.
Is there a more polar opposite for Scandinavia than Bakersfield?
Yeah, I mean, well, just the whole community and everything like that is totally different too. I was in Oslo, a large city downtown. It was kind of hustle bustle. It seems a little more laid back here. I feel like I'm in California. I'm
You're enjoying the weather. You
yeah,
get the
I'm
t-shirt
loving
and
it.
shorts
So,
going in
and
October.
I did not have that last year. I
No.
was in about 3 feet of snow, and but I'm enjoying every part of it so far. So.
Yeah, that's a tough language to learn. The language barrier has to be a big thing when you make the decision to go over there. It's one thing if you're just, on vacation and you try to seek out some English speakers to help you with some things, but when you're immersed in the culture like that, I mean, how distracting is that from actually just playing hockey?
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, most of the guys on the team were Norwegian, except for about 6 or 7 of us. So there's a lot of Norwegian being spoken, and it's tough to catch up on. So I really didn't know a lot of the things they were saying, and just coming back and being able to speak to everyone on the team, it was much better, and I enjoy it. So.
Except for Sabaki, you kind of
Yeah,
have to get around.
he's coming there though. I mean,
He speaks hockey.
yeah.
Now, you mentioned your wife earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How many years have you been married?
Actually, it's only been about four months. So
so
yeah.
brand new.
Just over the summer?
Recently, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
Where was the wedding?
It was back home in Chatham at her parents' wedding
All
hall
right.
there. So it was a very nice
Parents
ceremony. and
have
everything.
their own wedding hall?
They do, yes.
Did you
It
feel like
helped
they've
things
been
out.
was
waiting
set
their
up.
whole lives to
Yeah.
marry off their
Yeah,
daughter?
it felt like they were building up ever since we started getting ready to get married. So it's been a while in the making. So
I think that's one of the things that kind of goes unnoticed with trades and guys moving all around the country. Some of these guys have families. What has your wife thought about moving around the country and kind of living this hockey life?
yeah, well, I mean, I'm grateful that she's here and supporting me. She went to school for 2 years while I was in Greenville, South Carolina, and 2 years prior to that, I was in Elmira, New York. So she lived with me there for a bit, but it's been kind of tough on her. But she has always been by my side and supporting me. So I'm grateful to have her here and have her in my life. So,
Awesome.
It's great. We appreciate you coming by, man.
well, thanks for having me.
Are you ready for Friday?
Are you ready?
Absolutely, I can't wait. I haven't been in the games for so long.
All right.
Don't get too laid back. We want
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
we
we
want
want
that. All right.
We want flying hip
I'll see what I
check
can
Wes
do.
Cunningham. That's what we
If
want.
you have to drop the gloves, hey, Condorstown likes that too.
All right.
All right, Wes. Well, we appreciate the time, buddy. All right.
All right,
Enjoy
thanks
some
for having
Mount
me.
Mike's
Select the
pizza.
season. Grab
Some
some,
Mount
yeah,
Mike's
I
pizza
will.
on
I'm
your
gonna
way
have to
out.
grab some of that.
We'll make sure I'm getting some right now. I
Yeah?
don't care.
You can't eat on the air. You're the host.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat right on the air.
All right.
He's Wes Cunningham. Kevin Bartle's with me. This is Condors Unleashed, Fox Sports Radio 970, also at the Dignity Health Studios here at the Bakersfield, California. We'll make some picks coming up next. Stay tuned.